everyone, and welcome to the Charlie's Nail Art YouTube channel. My name's Amanda and I am one of the ambassadors here at Charlie's Nail Art. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I do a ombre using foils and acrylic. I did recently do a video up on the channel showing you guys how I apply the same foil on top of an acrylic nail to do a full cover design. But in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I encapsulate the foils in acrylic. So I'm starting off by applying a thin clear acrylic base. I always like to apply a clear acrylic base so that if I'm working on myself or if you was doing this on a client, you would be able to file back to this when they come back for a redesign. So I'm keeping this nice and thin. I don't want to add any additional bulk to the nail when it comes to doing this layer. Then I'm going to give that a minute or two to set, and I'm going to come in with my coloured acrylic. Now, whenever I'm working with a full cover foil, I like to pop a colour underneath that's going to match that foil as close as possible. So I chose this green acrylic. Now I'm only putting a really thin layer of the green acrylic down because we're going to apply the foil on top of this, and then we're going to need to encapsulate the entire design. So each layer of acrylic that you're putting down, you need to keep it quite thin. And then because we're going to be doing an ombre in this particular design, I'm fading that acrylic out into the natural nail bed so that there's no harsh line. And here you can just see I'm running my brush over that acrylic just to make sure it's as smooth and as even as possible, because we don't want it to be too lumpy or uneven for when we're going to apply our foil. Now I did leave that acrylic to fully set before coming in with my foil gel. Now when it comes to applying foils, I find foil gel works the best, but that's kind of personal preference. You can use a base coat as well as foil glue, so play around and try to find a product that works for you. With the foil gel, I like to apply quite a thin, even layer to the entire nail. I like to come over it a couple of times just to make sure that the area is fully covered. And I've then popped that foil gel in to cure for 30 seconds. Now that it's come out of my LED lamp, I'm pressing down my foil directly on top of that foil gel. And as you can see, I'm beginning by really rubbing it in using my thumb and fingers. I like to begin rubbing the foil down with my thumb and fingers because I find that the heat from your body will help the foil transfer. And then I switch to coming in with my cuticle pusher. This helps get out any creases that might be in the foil. And then at the very side walls of the nail, especially when I'm working on acrylic, I like to come in with my cuticle pusher just because I find this helps make sure that any tricky parts at the very edges of the foil, just make sure that they're going to be adhered down nicely. So here you can just see I'm going to take my cuticle pusher, and just because it's a little bit sharper, it seems to help apply that foil. However, I am making sure to be quite careful with the cuticle pusher because the end of it is quite sharp. Now you can see here around the edges of that foil is starting to transfer away from its backing paper. So I'm going to slowly peel it back. I like to go slowly just in case any areas haven't transferred. But you can see here that transferred absolutely beautifully. So now that we've got our foil down, we need to come in and finish off the ombre part of our design. So I'm going to come in with a cover pink colour, placing a bead down where the acrylic and foil ends. I'm blending it back into the natural now, and then I'm very gently going to blend it over the top of the foil. Now, I have had people ask me, does the monomer not affect or break down the foil? It can with some foils. However, I have never found that happen with any of my Charlie's Nail Art foils. I feel that if you're using a good quality foil, your acrylic should go over it without any problems. You'll see here when it does come to encapsulating the foil, my brush and the acrylic will touch the foil and it doesn't break down, it doesn't remove the foil or anything like that. However, saying that, what I do like to do is I always like to test a little bit of monomer on my foils before going ahead and doing the design, just so that way you're not going to waste your time. So what I like to do is get a tiny part of the foil, I take a little bit of monomer on my acrylic brush and I just run it over either side of the foil just to make sure that it doesn't cause any breakdown. Now here I'm finishing off my acrylic with I'm finishing off the ombre part of my nail with the cuticle bead. So I placed down that cuticle bead, got a nice neat cuticle area, and then I decided to come in with another bead of acrylic just to build up that coverage on the natural nail bed area. So I'm tapping it up into place at the cuticle and then fading it down. And I felt as though this pale pink acrylic really complemented that marble foil beautifully. I love this foil. It's one of my absolute favorites. Anything with a marble I love, but this foil is just gorgeous, and it looks amazing once it has been encapsulated and top coated, because any of those little bumps that are in it from the acrylic underneath all look smoothed out. So I'm now going to come in and encapsulate, and this is where you can see my brush going over that foil. So I've placed down a small bead of clear acrylic to begin with, blended it out into the pink acrylic, and then I'm working my way down to the very tip of the nail. I'm mainly encapsulating from the fade down because I've built up the cuticle and the apex area quite a bit with my pink colour, which is a core powder, so it doesn't need to be encapsulated. So I'm mainly focusing my encapsulation layer on the foil and ombre part of the nail, keeping everything as smooth and as even as possible so that there's minimal finish filing to do. Now here I did feel as though the nail was a little bit thin, so I'm going to come in with another bead of clear acrylic, blended the back of that bead of acrylic out slightly. I'm going to take it from side to side, and then I'm going to pull it down to the very tip of the nail. And now we have that foil fully encapsulated. I just like to run my brush over to get the acrylic as smooth and as even as possible, especially on those side walls. Then I'm going to leave this now to fully set. And off camera I did file it, so I made sure to file the surface and side walls of the nail and then buffed over it to remove any of the deep scratches that the file could leave. And then I gave it a good scrub with some alcohol to remove all of that dust, and we're ready to come in and top coat. So I'm top coating with a gel top coat, so I'm going to apply a thin layer of this and then I'll pop it in my LED lamp to cure for 60 seconds. And I have left a clip and photo of what the finished result looked like. Now, I really hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful and was able to pick up some tips and tricks. Let me know in the comments below if you have encapsulated your foils yourself and what you think of it. If you do have any questions or anything you might need some help with, pop a comment below and I'll be happy to help you guys out. This beautiful marble foil is available on the Charlie's Nail Art website, along with a whole huge range of foils, glitters and embellishments. So do check out the website, and I do also have a discount code which will save you 10% off your order. But all of the links and the information for that is also in the description box below. Thank you all so much for watching. Lots of love. Bye bye.